Here we go.
Okay.
Hey, welcome. Here we are on, what are we called now? Movie Club Monday, although we watch TV too. That doesn't make any sense. Movie and TV Club Monday. We watched all 24 movies of the MCU in order they were released. We watched the 3 Disney MCU series. Now we're on the Star Wars saga, and we're going to squeeze in the MCUs when they come along. We're up to the second sequel, Star Wars Return of the Jedi from 1983, which was episode 6, and was called Revenge of the Jedi until 6 months before its premiere when someone told George Lucas that a Jedi wouldn't seek revenge.
It was
Can I
you?
just say-
Yes, it was Amy.
One quick thing I read in the trivia today was that the Wrath of Khan was originally called Revenge of Khan, and they changed it because of Revenge of the Jedi. So now it had no revenge.
And then they could have gone back to it.
Yeah.
Two revenges to none.
Khan was better with Wrath anyway.
I like Wrath. Well, now I think now we're used to Wrath, so it sounds
Yeah.
weird, Revenge of the Khan. All right, so I'm Frank Gaffney, and here with me is Amy Goldman, who doesn't like Star Wars, Joel Fenster, who loves it, Mark Wotitz Gartner, it's a trap, and Annie King, who's coming us from the Comac Country Club, is that right?
Yes, the Hamlet. Yes.
She is at a wedding right now, but she couldn't miss calling in.
Where is Nan?
She's on a call. She couldn't make it.
Oh my God. I could
I
have done
know.
this morning. For real?
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna let Annie talk first so she can go back to the dinner.
Partying.
Salad
Yes, before
is
you
probably
nitpick.
being served right now.
Yes. Okay. So my favorite part was C-3PO recounting the entire saga with sound effects. That was hysterical.
Oh
That
my
was
God, yes.
Love that. I thought the beginning was a little silly, like so not necessary. I guess
Just
it's
the
set
beginning?
up stuff.
Just the beginning?
Yeah, well, okay. And then I had problems with Harrison Ford's portrayal this time. He felt more like 1950s American Graffiti than like a Star Wars kind of person that, but and I just wish it wasn't another Death Star. I feel like we've already done it and seen it already.
Gonna
So
see
it's
it again.
But this one was new and improved.
Yes, but and of course, being the teenager that I was, the Ewoks made the movie for me. So because of them, they got the 3.5 this movie. So 3.5 stars. And it was a good fight sequence, but that's all my notes. But my favorite was C-3PO recounting the entire saga.
fabulous.
That was hysterical.
Yeah.
That was-
My response on Han Solo is that I think he was frozen for a year and it kind of messed him up a little bit when he got out. I mean, you see him, Chewbacca is hugging him and he actually sounds, not like a dick for once. He's still tough, but he's not quite. So I wonder if they really did kind of level him out. Maybe that was written to be like that. That's just my
Yes.
possibility.
Wow.
That was
Okay,
my
so
thing.
now I actually have to watch this week's when it gets posted because thank you guys. I gotta run.
Okay. Bye. Enjoy.
Thanks,
Have
Stop in.
fun.
Bye.
Have fun.
Look, Mark.
Whoa! 2 thumbs up.
Okay, now that she's gone. All right, so
Nice run.
so of course this one was highly anticipated as well, and but for many it was a bit of a letdown from the first 2, and I really have to agree with that. So here, my nits to pick. There's a new improved Death Star. I love Jim Henson, I do, but this episode is where the creatures started to look more like lovable fake plastic.
Don't blame that on Jim Henson.
It does.
Well, but they
Well,
look
don't
like
blame it on-
Muppets.
Yeah,
They
but
look like
they're
Muppets.
not Muppets.
They look
Henson-
like Muppets.
Well, that's not Jim Henson's fault that they look like
No.
Muppets.
It's not, but George Lucas, all right,
Yes, it's George Lucas. You
And-
can blame until the cows come home.
right.
Fair.
And for the kids.
Right.
And don't get me started on the Ewoks. I'm glad that Annie loved them, but for me, it was just all silliness. I was like, seriously, with the Ewoks? No. And
Mark disagrees because Mark was 8 years old when this came out and he loved.
And that's why I'm not going to say anything. I'll talk during my part, but it really is age dependent, and it affected me in a different way.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I did not think at the time, and I still don't think that we needed to dumb it down to the children. It wasn't for them, it was for us. Okay. The dance number at Jabba the Hutt's. This is when Lucas thought, how can I make this movie worse? And that, oh my goodness.
Oh, in the new the updated version with the CGI singers, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, and and I hate that fake shit where everybody's on screen enjoying the music. I'm like, oh please, that is just. And I was thinking, what the fuck? Stop. All right, in Empire, Han tells Luke, "That's 2 you owe me." But when Luke rescues Han, he says, "Now I owe you 1." Where were the other 2? I missed it. Was that in the 3 years intervening?
No, if Han says you owe me 2.
Right, that's
Luke-
2 you owe me. But when Luke rescues Han, Han says, "Now I owe you 1."
Oh, Han said, right.
That's bad math.
That's
Okay.
very bad. math.
That is bad math.
Um,
Math.
yeah, I'm not great at math, but apparently neither is Han Solo.
He doesn't need to be. He's a space pirate who dumps cargo.
Okay, Obi-Wan says Luke has to face Vader, but again, in the last movie, he said he needed more training before he could face Vader, which of course Luke hasn't had yet, and now he has to face Vader. So we're fast and loose with the rules here. And then Luke says, "I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come." You're right. You shouldn't have come. Why did you?
Think about that before. Yeah.
Yeah. You
A little
just
late
realize
now.
that now? All right. And the speeder bike chase in the forest is some serious green screen lameness. I'm sorry. It's like a flashback to all those. I just watched Mutiny on the Bounty. They filmed some shit in Tahiti and projected it on the screen while the people are standing there. And that's exactly what the speeder race looks like. It's so fake. Are you anybody with me on that?
Well, yeah, well, all I kept thinking was they're just sitting there like this going straight.
Yeah.
There's no way they're avoiding all these trees. And then
Yeah.
I read it was just a guy running with the Steadicam playing
Yeah.
it 1 frame per second to make it go fast. I thought that's cool.
You got to
Yeah, it was
figure that
terrible.
the way it was made back in 1983, we all thought it looked better. We've had
Sure.
a bazillion years of, special effects advancements. My concern is, all right, so you've created this new special edition. Why
Right.
couldn't you fix
Right.
those
Hello,
instead of
George.
picking in a stupid dance
Right.
number,
Dance number.
and replacing that shit?
Yes, exactly, George.
Yes.
Focus
George.
on what needs to be fixed.
Let's get George in on next week's.
Yeah.
And of course, every one of our heroes are just lucky bastards. They never get shot. They never get killed.
Oh no, Leia gets
The
shot.
A-team.
Leia gets shot.
Is he one of our heroes?
Luke got shot in the beginning in the hand.
Yeah, and Leia got shot.
Everybody loses a hand. That of course relates completely to the MCU.
I was gonna say that's where Kevin Feige got it from.
Yeah, everybody loses a hand. And when the Death Star gets blown, Leia says she can feel that Luke is safe. But doesn't she need more training before she can use the Force properly?
Not if it's in your blood.
It's in your blood.
In your blood.
And then of course, with all the fixes he made, George Lucas puts Jar Jar Binks in this movie. Thank you. Some things can be forgiven, not that. Like we did not need Jar Jar Binks in this movie. And this is the other thing, when we see the ghosts at the very end, Anakin is somehow his young prequel self, while Obi-Wan and Yoda are still old as shit. I don't get why they know each other, because they were, when they died, why didn't he look like he died when he died? Why fix it?
Well, and what bugged me is that if you go back to, I think it was Attack of the Clones, it's only supposed to be about 30 years before Return of the Jedi. And Yoda was fighting Christopher Lee, doing flips, whatever. And now he's
Right.
900 years old. So it was 870 in pretty spry condition, although he still walked with a cane. Now, 30 years later, he's, he's dying. So again, the math doesn't work for me either on that. It's like the MCU.
All right, so for me, like I said, disappointment for me. There was a lot of script problems, I feel, and a lot of silliness and a lot of pandering to children. And for me, this was a 3-star movie. Ooh, humbug. What do you think, Mark?
I do not agree, but again, well, yeah, I'll read from my notes. This is another 3.9 for me.
Wow.
Yep. This is the only one of the original trilogy that I saw in the theaters because I was 8 years old. And it's funny, I actually do have memories of, I don't remember anything about the movie, but I have like a still image of me and my cousins with my uncle behind us. It's all I remember from the movie. But, just like
Was sitting in the row behind you?
He was behind us and me and my cousins were in front of him at the theater.
Okay.
It was the 80s, man.
All right. He didn't want to sit with you.
They take them to the movies. They sit in front of us. We're on the other side of the theater at this point. They're moving on.
Exactly.
See, they don't want to sit with you.
No, I don't want to sit with them.
Yeah, exactly. But like you just said, Frank, for me, I was 8. So the Ewoks was fantastic. And starting off the movie to have the whole Jabba scene, which is like the first portion. Then you have the Ewoks. Then you have the big battle at the end. So for an 8-year-old, and this is the reason I was saying that Empire is actually my least favorite. It's from my childhood. It's just kind of instilled in me over all these years. As an adult, I can appreciate things and see things differently, but I still have something in me that says this is a fun movie. So I don't have problems with this movie at all, other than some of the new CGI stuff that he did, which has nothing to do with the original movie. Which, question for you, Joel, you probably know this movie the best. Am I crazy? The very beginning of this movie on Disney Plus, that's not the beginning of the movie. They added in all the scenes outside. I thought it started like in the new Death Star with Vader walking down the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
This one has a whole bunch of shots extra of the ship coming in.
Yeah, well, you got to remember all the movies start with the Star Destroyer flying overhead.
Right.
But yes, I believe they did add some extra space shots of the
and
shuttle
dialogue. Because I was telling Danielle, I have to go. I think we still have the originals on the trilogy and VHS up here somewhere. I got to go find it and I'm going to put it in just to see what the exact difference is.
I have them on Laserdisc. I'm not going to pull those out to check. It's just.
Yeah.
But,
I'll check it out and I'll report on the post.
Sure.
Wasn't there at one point where they did release it on DVD, the original version?
The originals. Oh, that's true. Yeah, the originals are. I guess I have those too. The originals are on DVD,
Right.
but they are not. They basically took the Laserdisc transfers and shoved them onto DVDs. So they're not anamorphic. They're not. So they won't fill up your screen the way other DVDs will. If your set is set a certain way, you'll have black bars on all 4 sides, and it'll be a little postage stamp in the middle. But yeah, they are there. Disney has, or nobody has officially cleaned them up in the original versions and released them on newer, more high definition formats.
Right.
In good transfers. However, I believe you can find bootleg versions online. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying they're there. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
The big one.
And it's actually an interesting point just about the original versions of the films, because both Star Wars and Empire were inducted into the National Film Registry. Jedi has not been yet, but the concept of the National Film Registry is for the Library of Congress to have original prints of all the movies that are in there, or good quality prints. And for a long time, there was questions as to what they actually had in regards to Star Wars and Empire, but apparently they do have
The
original versions.
Right. And I was all in favor of him cleaning up the special effects, but it's the augmenting that is the problem. But and Amy, you can relate to this, I'm sure. Whenever we would make videos, we would look at them and then get sick of them. And then we're like, we could fix this, make it a little more this, tighter this, put that there. I totally get it, George, but at the same time.
I think there's
Yeah.
certain things that he did right.
Yeah, there are things that definitely improved.
I love, if you go back to Empire, I love the fact that Cloud City is no longer like this sterile white building that we're running through white hallways. There are window vistas. You can see outside. It is gorgeous. If the other films had just had that, it would have been fine. But we didn't need to add back the Jabba the Hutt scene that was cut for reasons.
Right.
We didn't need to shove
Right.
Boba Fett into scenes he was never in before.
Right.
We didn't need to change the musical number in Jabba's palace or at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I missed the original Sarlacc too, just like the rubber fins with teeth
That one
coming out.
doesn't bother me as much.
That's what I'm saying. Improving the things that you didn't have the capability to do in
Right.
1977 makes perfect sense, but
Right.
the
Don't add.
augmenting is a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark, this is a boyhood.
Yeah,
Joy.
and that's why I would go for me. It's episode 4, then 6, then 5, which most people would vehemently disagree with. Say 5 is the best, not the worst. So, but for me, again, I'm still seeing it from that view. And most importantly, as an adult, this is the only one with nudity. There's a full-on boob slip from, I think, Ula, the slave girl that's dancing, which I missed for the entire first 35 years of my life until I heard about it and then had to watch and was like, oh shit, yeah, there it is. So saw some titty action yesterday.
And of course, Carrie Fisher in that cute little outfit.
Right, which Danielle bought me a little Christmas ornament of her in the metal bikini. So, which I don't really, that doesn't do it. She doesn't really do it for me, but not bad.
Okay.
Real quick, to me. So again, as a kid, the torture of the trash can droid in the beginning, I think it was the screaming in Jabba's place. That bothered me as a child. It actually really bothered me. So now as an adult, it doesn't really bother me, but I still don't like it, to be honest.
I think it's goofy. Robots don't have nerve endings and skin.
My rational mind agrees with you, Joel.
I get
And
it.
it didn't even look like the fire was touching him.
Yeah.
Oh no, it actually touches and like an iron goes on his feet the second time they show him.
Yeah.
It's a torture of any kind. I'm not a fan. I could watch murder, rape, pillage, killing animals. Well, that bothers me too. But if it's a nature program where a lion eats something, I'm okay with it. I really am. Anyway, whatever. Torture bugs me. Hold on. What else? I got another thing. Oh, when I remember in college, I downloaded a Star Wars drinking game, which I've never played to this day. I printed it out, right? I would print out these papers and stick it in a folder. I have the folder somewhere in this house. I have to go find it because I remember in that drinking game, you have to drink whenever someone says it's your destiny and I have foreseen it. In this movie, I would have been wrecked inside of a half hour if I had done that. They say that so many times in this. So maybe one day.
You were going to say I have a bad feeling about that.
Yeah. No.
Well, that's only said once each movie. So you're not going to get wrecked if you do one shot a movie.
Sure.
But it's your destiny. And then this one, the Emperor, I have foreseen it. He says it. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Other than actually one quick story to share. When the original trilogy was re-released in the theaters, I think 97 through 99, me and my buddies went to go see each of them in the theater. And for Return of the Jedi, I feel like we went to like an 11 p.m. or a midnight showing, whatever it was. And we were like the normal ones. There was a bunch of teenagers and 20 something, where I was 24. There's a bunch of people our age. A lot of them were, I guess, cosplaying. They're all dressed up. It was a rowdy bunch of nerds, and it was a fun vibe in the air. Everyone was just having fun. It was really great. We're in the movie theater. We're watching a movie. Everyone's having fun. About halfway through, when Vader says to the Emperor that he knows Luke is here because, quote, I have felt him. This random dude just yells out, ew! The entire theater just cried. Like, I've never heard an entire theater laugh that much before or since. And it was a fantastic thing. Whoever that dude is, thank you that was the funniest part of the whole night.
Did you see it in Norwalk? Were you in Norwalk at the time or no?
No, oh no, I grew up in the Bronx. I was
Well, I know
still.
that. I just wasn't sure when you
It was.
wound up.
It was either in the Bronx or actually it was probably in Westchester somewhere.
Okay.
I had to go get this because this is my ticket from the
99? Oh, 97 for the first one.
For the Ziegfeld. Yeah.
I remember that ticket. I can't believe you kept it though. Wow.
Sure. 97. Was I at? No, I wasn't. I must have been invited to it. But yeah. Yeah, I have all three of them.
Ooh.
I would have invited you, Frank. You know, probably.
Yeah, somebody invited me.
Yeah.
'Cause I was,
Yeah.
was I? No.
Yeah.
Was
When
I?
did you leave? 96?
95.
95.
Yeah. Anyway, moving
94.
on. No,
You're
I left
93.
in 95. All right. Are you done, Mark?
All done.
All right, Joel.
Um,
What say you?
yeah, I'm kind of agreeing, generally speaking, with the vibe of the room. I still think Empire is the best of this middle trilogy.
I have to agree.
And I gave that a 4, and I gave A New Hope, I believe, was a 3.8 or 3.9, somewhere
Right.
in there. This one I'm giving a 3.5. It's, you know, it's a fun film. It's not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of nits to pick, and I think we've picked on most of them. I think you could also get into, you know, just how savage are the Ewoks. They may be cute, but if you think about like the fact that they were going to roast and eat Han and then Luke and then Chewbacca, there's some sick shit going on there that, you know, they're not exactly cute.
They're animals. They're animals.
Yeah.
So sure.
So, and you gotta figure that, you know, they have those, you know, stormtrooper helmets at the end that they're using as bongos. What happened to the people in those uniforms? You know,
Ah,
They were dinner last night.
exactly. Yeah. Did we need a second Death Star? No. And that, you know, opens up the whole, hey, we're gonna get something just like the Death Star later on. Yay. But at the same time, there's a nice consistency to things that we've seen, even in the minor characters who are kind of goofy fun, like, you know, Admiral Akbar sitting behind Mark there. You know, they're nice additions, they're interesting. You want to know a little bit more about them, but you're never going to get that in the movie.
Rogue One.
Well, yeah, I know, not just Rogue One, the sequels, you know, the Admiral Akbar shows up again. I love the opening in Jabba's palace, as silly as it gets at times. I would have liked more of that, and less of the crap going around on Endor. But that being said, I love the juxtapositions at the end of the film between what's going on in Endor, what's going on the Death Star with Luke and Vader, and the space battle going outside around the Death Star. I think that is masterfully put together. And it's only enhanced by, you know, John Williams' amazing score, which he's added. You know, it's funny because, you know, we all know the Star Wars theme from the first film, and we all know the Imperial March from the second film, and for the life of me I can't remember what this piece now is called, but it, you know, the one with the start, I love that piece. It's an amazing piece, and it's just a fun film. It's not perfect. It's not the way I would have ended things, but it's not my story to tell, and I'm fine with how we're left with things at the end of the day. It's you know, let me rephrase that. I'm fine with how we're left at things with the original version of the film. Yeah. Because sticking whiny Anakin as a ghost, really, it's like, it's a punch to the gut. It's like, why is he here? You know, we just saw Vader unmasked like 4 minutes ago.
And he didn't look like that.
I don't even mind the original version where it's, I almost said Stan Sebastian Shaw, you know, cleaned up but old. Don't replace him.
Yeah,
he had a purpose. I don't want to see Hayden Christensen or Christian Haydenson, whatever the hell his name is. I can't.
but you know, again, for me, that whole ending party scene was just so much pandering. I'm like, really? It just was too much.
It's a happy ending. What's wrong with a happy ending?
It was too much.
There's
It's
nothing
like,
wrong with a happy
look,
ending,
we're dead, but we're happy. We're still
but
here.
it's not just that.
Yay.
He's adding all of, as you said, Jar Jar Binks, but it's adding all of the other planets. All of a sudden, we're back on, a CGI Tatooine and CGI Coruscant and CGI Naboo and CGI this and it's like, okay, we've just added like 8 minutes to this end scene, and we could have gone home and had a nap. So
Because we need a nap.
we need, yeah, it's, I'm 52, I'm cranky. What can I say?
52 as of just 2 days ago. Happy birthday.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes.
Monday.
2 days ago.
One day I'll get
2
this
days
straight.
ago.
Yeah.
All right,
so, yeah,
Aim. So,
25.
are you done, Joe?
I'm done.
All right. Aim.
Well, you're going to be surprised to know I went into it thinking, I can't believe I have to watch this movie at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And I liked it a lot more than I expected to. I didn't remember any of it except Bring Me Solo and the Wookiee. That's it. I was shocked that Jabba the Hutt died at the 35-minute mark, and then Yoda died, and then we got to see Darth Vader unmasked. I didn't remember any of that.
Spoiler
So-
alert.
Huh?
Spoiler alert.
I know. So it really was like a brand new movie to me, even though I saw it, I'm pretty sure I saw it a few times. And I did not even realize that was Hayden Christensen at the end. I was like, who the hell is that? Until I read about it. And it made sense, but I hated it. And I hated, like you said, Frank, there were so many aliens. I was like, we don't need 600 different aliens in every scene. Just give us like your top 15. There's just way too much.
Amy, just wait till next week, then it gets worse.
Oy vey. Well, next week is Spaceballs.
Oh, sorry, 2 weeks then.
But and I did see the Fakakta one, Phantom. So it was like the first, I want to say 65% of the movie. I was like, okay, I'm not hating it. And then came the whole battle on Endor, and I was like, will this ever end? I hate the Ewoks because they were just too cutesy. They drove me crazy. And I did love that the first one that we meet is what's his nuts, who I love.
Warwick Davis.
Yeah, Warwick Davis, who was 11 years old. He was 11 years old at the time.
Yeah.
That was more trivia I read. And Carrie Fisher kept giving him chocolate milk and cookies because she was so concerned about him. Sweet.
Sure.
So yeah, and then just like you said, Joel, the whole juxtaposition thing, going back and forth was really nice. I was thinking of more things while you were all talking, and now of course I can't remember them. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. As I'm watching it though, I thought I was definitely a bigger Star Wars fan back in the day. And so I'm really fearing Phantom Menace because I just hated it.
Yeah. But you did
And then-
see it.
Oh yeah, because it was Fox and it was such a big deal. It was such a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah. And I don't even remember I don't think I saw 2. I think I mentioned I never saw 2. And then 3, I only watched the parts that starred Darth Vader. And I really like 7. Yeah, I like 7. So that's it. And Alexa just turned on.
And you didn't watch 8 or 9.
No, and I'm sorry I didn't, so I'm glad. I'm looking forward to them now.
Good. Is that it? Are we done
Yeah.
with this now? I was looking for my Revenge of the Jedi stuff, but I don't know where it went to. Okay, next week we take a little side trip, as George Lucas did as well. He took a long 16-year side trip. We're only going 4 years later, and we're watching 1987's Mel Brooks parody, Spaceballs. And just a reminder, What If episode 2 will be on Wednesday on Disney Plus, and we'll get to that in about 9 weeks. I did watch episode 1. Did everybody watch it?
Yeah.
No, Mark did not watch
So
it.
Mark is going to binge them all.
Yeah.
I still have 30 hours of Olympics on my DVR.
God.
I still have 30 hours of Shark Week on my
They're
streaming.
over.
Huh? They're over. I know. So is Star Wars. We're still watching them.
Good
No,
point.
Star Wars isn't over. There's more Star Wars coming.
More Olympics coming.
All right, that's the end of this. I'm Frank Gaffney. May the force be with you.
And also with you.
And also with you.
Eh,